Hello and welcome to our robot hell. We Transformers fans think giant, fighting alien robots are the coolest, especially when they can transform into vehicles and animals. Did you find this fandom through the movies? Did you know there are many different TV shows and comics too? So many in fact, that I want to help you decide what to explore. I will give you show recommendations, which comics to read, and info on conventions and fan resources. There are tons of Transformers stories that have nothing to do with each other. Basically, Transformers has been around for so long that they just keep restarting the story. Writers want to do their own thing, independent from what others have done in the past. Of course, the basics are there. We have an Optimus, a Megatron, a Bumblebee, Autobots fighting Decepticons, most often on Earth. Each story tries new things, has new characters, even if the Optimus Megatron Bumblebee trio is still around. But they might try a younger, more inexperienced Optimus. They might try a Megatron that is a jet, a goofy Bumblebee, or a grumpy Bumblebee. That's where it can get really confusing for beginners. Not all Bumblebees are the same. With the live-action movies, we have what we call the Bay movies because they were all directed by this dude Michael Bay. These include the 2007 Transformers movie, Revenge of the Fallen, Dark of the Moon, Age of Extinction, and The Last Knight. Hardcore Transformers fans tend to not like the last two movies, and some say they don't like any of the Bay movies because they focus more on the humans instead of the robots. Lots of people have seen one or more of these movies, but think this is all that exists for Transformers. We also have two more live-action movies, Bumblebee and Rise of the Beasts. These movies had different directors. You may be wondering if all these movies are sequels to each other. The first 5 Bay movies are, but the last 2 are more like reboots. But you see, Transformers likes vagueness in what is connected or not. Why? So that the casual viewer explores new content thinking it is part of what they've seen before. They think Bumblebee in the Bumblebee movie could be the same one they loved in the original live-action movie. The Bumblebee movie itself doesn't confirm or deny it, letting the viewer believe what they want to believe. The cartoons for Transformers now make Bumblebee transform into a Camaro just like in the movies, so he is recognizable and marketable. But like I was saying, these Bumblebees exist in unrelated stories. All these big blockbuster films originated from a simple 1980s cartoon. The Transformers has 98 episodes in one movie. I think every Transformers fan should look at the original series, even though I bet it won't be your favorite. It's a classic, cheesy 80s cartoon, and a lot of it is silly. But we fans love laughing at the errors and nonsense in it. You really should watch the 1986 movie, because a crazy amount of things reference that movie. It's like the movie that birthed all Transformers content to follow. That's where we got the monstrous planet-eating god, Unicron, who appears in the live-action movies. So you've checked out the old original content, but Transformers has even better things to offer. I'm not going to say what's the best, because that will be for you to decide. Here are some recommendations of the fandom's most favorite TV shows: Transformers Animated and Transformers Prime. These TV shows have a continuous storyline and unique likable characters. They are over a decade old, but I have even older recommendations because they will also help you understand more Transformers references. Watch Beast Wars and ignore the dated animation. Beast Wars has a surprisingly interesting plot and brand new characters like Cheetor and Rat Trap, known well by the Transformers fandom. And it's not Optimus Prime, it's now Optimus Primal. All the characters turn into animals. Beast Wars is what inspired the movie Rise of the Beasts. If you have seen the original Transformers, Beast Wars, Transformers Animated, and Transformers Prime, you have a very strong base now. But to make it better, you should check out the comics. Which ones? Well, people like the IDW storyline that ran from 2005 to 2018. That is a lot of comics though, and most people don't read all of them, so don't worry. Zoom in and read one story called More Than Meets the Eye by James Roberts. It has over 50 issues and is a fairly self-contained story. It may reference other events in the comics, but don't worry so much, you can follow along and enjoy it for what it is. More Than Meets the Eye has the most popular characters of all the Transformers comics written so far. James Roberts creates such strong, entertaining characters such as Rodimus, Drift, Whirl, Cyclonus, Swerve, and Brainstorm, and then a very intimidating and loved cast of villains like the Decepticon Justice Division. The story is about Rodimus taking a crew of Autobots on a space quest right after the Autobot and Decepticon war ends. But everything conceivable goes wrong on this trip, and characters die left and right. This story is quite deep with its emotions, and is considered one of the best written Transformers stories out there. It has a sequel, Lost Light, but More Than Meets the Eye is the most popular. You find a lot of fan art for it on Tumblr, fan animations on YouTube, and merch of it at Transformers conventions. I highly recommend More Than Meets the Eye. It even attracted a whole new audience to Transformers. More Than Meets the Eye was fresh and included LGBTQ+ themes within great storytelling, which was very welcoming to a new demographic. So if you go to a Transformers convention, you will see a very diverse crowd. Let me tell you about TFcon, which I believe is the best convention for Transformers fans. TFcon takes place in alternating cities in Canada and the US, such as Toronto, Los Angeles, Chicago, and Orlando. I've gone to Toronto 3 times and Los Angeles once. There's a huge dealer room where you can buy many different figures, including exclusive special ones. There is always a charity auction as well, where people go crazy bidding on figures, which is so entertaining even if you don't plan on buying anything. There are scheduled events, such as a costume contest, a Wheel of Fortune based on Transformers, Q&A sessions with official voice actors, writers, and more, and other fun surprise panels. And of course, you can meet the special guests at their stands for signatures and photos. There is an artist alley to meet official comic artists, buy their art, and even commission them for art requests of your own, but just check beforehand because you may have to book requests with them. You can see the special guests announced on TFcon's page. I have always had a great time there. I know England has its TFnation, but I haven't gone to one yet. There are other conventions where you can find Transformers, but I believe you just can't get more solid than TFcon. But wherever your favorite guests go, don't miss them. And if you see Alex Milne, the famous artist of More Than Meets the Eye, you'll see the crazy, not safe for work Transformers art he sells. You won't believe your eyes. So yes, there's a lot out there for all kinds of Transformers fans. Not to worry if spicy content isn't your thing, let's settle down with a few more show recommendations. The newer cartoons are pretty good, so you could watch Transformers Cyberverse and Transformers EarthSpark. Both are unique stories of different characters, but Cyberverse actually includes characters inspired by the More Than Meets the Eye comics. There are also 2 cartoons aimed at very young viewers, great for children, but not bad for adults to watch because it's not a show of random nonsense. Rescue Bots is about 4 first responder Transformers working with a first responder family, protecting the residents of a city. It has sassy characters, funny moments, and more plot than you'd expect for a kindergartner show, so it's well liked by Transformers fans. Its sequel show, Rescue Bots Academy, is more suitable for an even younger audience as it is about young Transformers learning how to do rescue work, so it's a valuable show for teaching lessons. If you want to try other shows, older ones known and liked by the fandom, try out Transformers Armada. But after that, you're starting to dabble in shows many fans have not seen or have seen but don't like very much. Transformers Energon was seen by many as children, but now they just find it annoying and random. I think it's silly, and its sequel, Transformers Cybertron, are surprisingly funny. If you want to become a hardcore fan, get into the Japanese shows. Transformers has always been a love child of the US and Japan. Transformers Master Force and Victory are alright, but if you liked animal robots more, there are some Japanese Beast Wars cartoons. Transformers Robots in Disguise 2001 is funny too, and known for its Shark Dude. Yes, there are even more shows and tons more comics I didn't even mention. To find out more, find the Wikipedia list of Transformers animated series. If you want to explore the comics more, first try the most popular series we call IDW 2005. IDW was the publishing company, and 2005 was the beginning of that comic universe. Consult a checklist like this by searching Transformers IDW Chronological Reading List. Then, you can search online the names of the comics and read online free. Sites with lots of pop-ups will have these comics, just stay safe. You could try to buy these comics, but it'll become harder as they are out of print. If you want to read a few parts of IDW 2005, but not all of it, I recommend you read Last Stand of the Wreckers, All Hail Megatron, More Than Meets the Eye, Lost Light, and Windblade. These ones are the most well known by fans, so you can find people's fan art online for them. You can also read the Spotlight issues because they are short stories about individual characters. There was another series by IDW that is very new. IDW's series, which began in 2019, did not last long because IDW just lost the rights to make Transformers. They started a brand new universe with different vibes to their previous one. These books are full of colorful, beautiful art and new ideas and characters. I think it's worth checking out, and it's not too long either. This story stays on Cybertron as society tears apart and factions are created. Now though, someone else has the rights to make Transformers comics, so if you want the freshest comics and to follow along with the fandom, start the Skybound comics. The series just began in 2023. If you liked particular Transformers shows, then there may be a few comics or books to accompany that show. You'll want to look up your show to see what is out there, like Transformers Prime has 3 novels, a lore book, and a couple of good comics. Hopefully, you'll be able to find the resources to read them. Your best friend for information as a Transformers fan will be the TFwiki. This is the most accurate site of information that tells you everything you need to know about the characters, concepts, shows, comics, and more. If you like Transformers fan art, Tumblr is probably your best place. If you want to read Transformers fanfiction, just be warned that it often gets pretty not safe for work and contains a lot of non-canon material. Fanfiction.net has Transformers fanfiction, and Archive of Our Own does too, but that site contains even more not safe for work content. If you play with the filters, you can change which Transformers series you want to read, such as filtering for only Transformers Animated. If you want to play Transformers video games, the most loved ones are the old War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron games. You could be able to find Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, Nintendo DS, or Microsoft Windows games in used game stores. If you would like more information about Transformers toys, TFwiki and YouTubers can guide you. That Toy Guy, Dr. Lockdown, TF Fan Page 101, Thew Adams, and Jobby the Hong are some that come to my mind. I don't review figures or know much about them myself. For discussion videos about Transformers, I tend to do that, as well as Paper Plane, Road Russell, and Commodore Cam. Theoremus is your number one for discussions about live-action movies. Let me go on record now to say that we all do a variety of content, so we aren't limited to what I'm recommending right now. Commodore Cam also does many ranking videos for different designs of the same Transformers character. Ultra Primal does a lot of show reviews, which can also help you get to know Transformers better. For detailed information, it is a must that you check out Chris McFeely because every Transformers fan knows this guy. He is behind The Basics, a popular Transformers information series. Some of us fans also create original content like fan movies and shows. Kean Carlisle created a high-effort animation of thousands of dollars called Combaticons. Some creators make stop-motion movies, such as TFI Creations. Even I am working on a choose-your-own-adventure story game for Transformers Prime, which you can learn more about on my channel. I'm sorry if I offended any content creator by not including them on this list. These are just the people I happen to know. I've met many of them and they seem like nice and passionate people. I'm sure that once you look up some of these YouTubers, the algorithm will start recommending others off this list. So with all of this, I hope you enjoyed diving into what the Transformers franchise has to offer. It's up to you where you want to go next, but I swear that you will know very much about Transformers if you take my recommendations. By the way, you can find Transformers cartoons on this website. Use the cartoon section for the English shows and the subbed anime for the Japanese shows. And remember, wherever you go, fight off those pop-ups.